Hey trappers, here we are again out on the line. Appreciate you guys looking out and checking things out this year. The fur prices are really astronomical. I got a report back that we're having $30, $45 coons, $60, $70 coyotes. I mean, it's like it's back in the 80s again. It's a heck of a year. Anyway, I got a few questions asked of me about how come I'm getting some dry fires. Well, let me explain that. These clips are Magnum Power Clips, and what I mean by that is it's like a new pair of boots. You have to get the clip broke in. Now here's another way that I like to do that, and I'll show you right now. Let me get a clip out. I got my little bag. I don't go anywhere without this bag. I can carry everything that I need, and all I have to carry on my back is the 220s. There I got a stack of brand new clips. They haven't been put out yet. Put my glove back on. It's awful cold here. Anyway, as you can tell by my gloves, these are very sharp, so you must be careful. Anyway, these are broke to accept 110s through 330s, 330 Magnums. So you'll have to squeeze the clip a little bit. That isn't going to hurt it, and I'll explain why. Get the key, and I'll have to get this one ready. I carry all my screws, my nails if I'm running nails, my keys and my rings. I get that glove back on. Anyway, what I like to do is, this one's already set and hanging. Okay? You can do that when you install the clip, but this clip is already installed. So what I do is I'll squeeze this clip all the way up like that. I'll squeeze it, I'll get the ring of the trap over it, and I'll press that back down. Now the dry firing, it's happened to me a couple of times, and that's why I'm addressing this. You trappers out there that have been using my product with great success have had some misfires and whatnot, and that's why I'm addressing this. So you go ahead and you get, just like before, get your key in there, squeeze the clip, get the key about halfway in and halfway out. Now, by breaking that boot or getting this set, the spring steel has a memory. Once you get this clip memoried to the position that you want, all of these traps set a little bit different width, a little bit tighter, different, so it does matter. And if you're running into those issues, just squeeze that clip in a little bit. If it gets too far in, just push it back out. So let's go ahead and get this trap set. Now this is an old 220 back from, boy, a long time ago anyway. It's got the bigger rings. Now it'll work on the newer with the smaller rings, but I really like these big rings. And as before, I'm pulling it out tight. getting that trigger bent a little bit. I get that squoze down. I want to make sure that the safeties are on. I'll go ahead and get the trap spun. Now I'm starting. Let me turn this 360 sideways and then maybe you'll be able to see it. I'll set it from this side. As you can see, I'm getting it started on the key. I'm just pushing it in. I'm going over top of the other side. I can feel through the trap, get equal distance from the jaw. And then just go ahead and squeeze the trap. Go ahead and get your trigger in the position that you want. You can rotate your clip back. I set it on the first notch. You go ahead and you get that trigger set on the first notch. That's where I like to put it. And as you can see how I got my triggers bent, I want the animal to be able to think that it can get through there, so it's going to stick its head through there. But I'll explain that in a little bit. I leave the safeties on until I'm ready to get out of here, but I'm going to go ahead and get this one set quick. Same thing like the first one. Now I reach through, make sure that the key is the same distance. Go ahead and squeeze the trap. Make sure that you got your trigger where you want it. Set the trap. Get the safety on. Pull those down on them just a little bit. Pull the chain down. Okay, now, before I take the safeties off, reach in my little ditty bag here. I'm going to get some bait. Got myself a bait stick. Now what I do is any paste type bait, which I carry a line of that, but now this clip now is your bait tray. So you go ahead and you put your bait underneath the key inside the bait cup, which is the clip. Let me get some up on this one. Go ahead and reach up through there and push that bait down underneath the key. You want to make them have to work for it. I don't know if you've noticed, but I put that stick up here. I have a bandana up there. I use quite a few of them. They got a heck of a deal years ago, but anyway, that's my marker, because when I'm walking down through all these pines, it's hard to remember where all your sets are. Now I know that that's obvious to anybody else, but this is my line. You have your own line. We'll talk about that at future times. Anyway, you can see where the bait's at. Now what happens is that the animal is going to come up the pole, and he's going to come up here, and he's going to start feeding. He's going to start getting into that, and he's going to get his head in there, and pretty soon he's whacked the trigger. The next one, the coon's going to be hanging there. You might be trapping fisher or marten on a leaning pole set. I've caught mink in these. I've caught skunks in these. And then the next animal might come up, and he's going to do the same thing. But they're eating out of the clip, which is the bait cup. It's been specifically designed for that. It'll hold any paste type or meat base tacky bait. Again, you can put a lure up on the top. Everybody fishes differently, meaning by that everybody traps a little bit differently. This is just my system. This is my product. I've had a lot of great success through the years, and that's why it's now available to all you trappers out there. Now that I've got the bait in the bait cup, which is the clip, it's very unique. It works very well. Make sure that you get the safeties taken off. Make sure they're hanging all the way down. A lot of times them traps will fire and it will flip over and catch one of the jaws. All the way down. Now you can do this any way you want. You can bend these up, down, it doesn't matter. The trap's going to fire. But then like I said earlier, the animal, he comes up and he's going to come through and knock his head into it and fire. A lot of times this is what they were getting as the dry fire, because they didn't see it snap, but the trap is sitting there. That's why we need to break the boot in. The boot's brand new. It's awful stiff. It's a very powerful clip. If you get that bent, everything will be fine. Get it bent to where you need it. The animal comes up to the next one, and he goes. Like I said earlier, folks, this is the way I like to see tight chains. Tight chains. Hey, thanks a lot, guys and gals.